If you've ever come down on Christmas morning to find a train set under the tree, or if you've ever heard the distant whistle of a locomotive and suddenly had the urge to go wherever it was going, then you probably have a love for locomotives way down deep in your soul. There are a group of people in the area who have allowed that love to become a passion called outdoor model railroading. In real life, Scott Baxter is an electrical engineer for a communications company. But in his Brentwood backyard, he's a big boy in love with little engines.
I think after a childhood exposure to railroading, riding on a business trip to Texas with my father at age 5 and back, I had the feel of railroading. I wanted to run on the railroad, work on the railroad. I'd love to be a railroad engineer. I know that that's not practical or possible for me in today's railroad industry, and so this is the closest thing I can come to it. It's the ideal family hobby. They love it. I can be interested in making the signals operate and fixing a broken locomotive. The younger ones are interested in running, and all of us fit in one way or another.
Scott got hooked on the hobby of large-scale model railroading about 2 years and $15,000 ago, when he and his family went to Columbia, Tennessee for a meet of the Mid-South Live Steamers Club. The erstwhile Spectator is now vice president of the group. Their meet earlier this month attracted locomotives and enthusiastic engineers from 15 states. Hank Sherwood of Nashville is the club's president.
When we have a meet like this, we've probably got over 40 locomotives, and it gets a little crowded on the track, so everybody tries to take their little turn, and not everybody get out there at the same time because they just end up in one big line, and you don't go very far, and especially when we have a lot of people showing up to ride with their kids, and I think the adults enjoy it more than the kids do sometimes. So.
The Columbia track, located at the Maury County Fairgrounds, is one of about 250 such setups across the country.
We have a little over of a mile of track in scale. That would be about 8 miles for this size, and counting the switch yards and the passing sidings. We have enough track, and it's fun to run around if you've been around it and seen the loop and the bridges, and it's just like a real railroad.
Here she comes, look at her roll. There she goes, eating that coal. Want to fly, look at her sail. Let her by the farball mail.
Watch her go, look at her steam. Hear her roll, whistle and scream like a hound wagging his tail. Dallas bound, farball mail.
Some people come from the railroads, some are doctors. All walks of life. It's just that they share the common interest of this hobby, which is growing quite rapidly, as far as the miniature steam locomotives. I think most of the people here have had a model train set at some time in life, and as they get older, their toys get bigger. And I think that's what happened to me.
I'm 91 years old, and this is what keeps me going right here, period. I'm too old for women, so I got on this.
Yeah. The diesel locomotives, some are battery operated. They are charged or have a generator that charges them when they run on a battery, and some basically have like a lawnmower engine in them. Well, most of the trains here are steam powered. That's how the hobby originally started back in the late 30s. They burn coal. We like to burn a clean burning coal, which we use here. We have a fellow bring down from West Virginia. It's Pocahontas coal, and it's a clean burning coal, so it doesn't make a lot of smoke and soot that gets you all black from running on it. Some of the engines here burn propane, which is just a clean fired gas, and but the diehards like to burn the coal because you get the smell, and it's more of the realism. The secret of a locomotive is not how fast it can go, it's how much it can pull, which they call the tractive force. We don't encourage, they say, highballing too much around here because the track does have a few kinks in it, but really the pride is in how much you can pull, and that's when you get the chug, 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 chug.
These engines can build up from 100 to 130 pounds of pressure in their boilers.
This is the boiler. and it'll be full of water up to about here. The rest of this is steam. By the way, there is a steam dome in there with the pop valves. That makes the steam. The steam comes over here, runs down into the cylinders. It'll squirt some in here. It'll push the cylinder back. It'll squirt some there. It just makes it go back and forth. This is a Johnson bar that makes it go forward or backwards. This is the throttle. This is the water glass, which is very essential. You don't want to run out of water. Here's the whistle.
I tell you, the thing about it, they enjoy working on them and building them a lot more than they do riding them, I think. I think riding them's just something to entertain kids and entertain the wives and stuff, but I think working on them and building them is the main thing.
Well, yeah, they say the only difference in men and boys is the price of their toys, you know, and that's about true. We have lots of fun.
Young or old, there's a lot to love about these locomotives. If you're 7, a ride on these trains is a pleasant trip back to a time of which you have no memory. If you're 76, it just doesn't seem all that long ago.
Oh, Lord, yeah. Lots of memories, yeah. I used to run up and down the railroad tracks when I lived here in Columbia when I was a little girl. And I'd have to jump out of the way of the big old trains, you know. It reminded me of lots of way back.
Well, no more trains to ride, no more trains to ride.